Why are helicopters so noisy? Hello, welcome to the channel. Hope you're all well. So, why are helicopters so noisy? Well, there are a few reasons for this. First of all, it's general proximity to the helicopter itself. The closer you are, the noisier it's going to appear. If it's in flight, then it's going to be less noisy, right? This is just a distance thing in your ability to hear. But why do helicopters generate so much noise, and possibly more so than we believe that aeroplanes might do, especially light aircraft? Well, it's a combination of things. First of all, it's engine noise we've got to consider, but mostly it's the noise generated by the processing of the air by the main rotor and also the tail rotor. A lot of the noise comes from the main rotor in terms of that generation of air. We'll get, in some cases, towards the tips of the blades, we're approaching transonic speeds. So in terms of noise generation, there's going to be quite a lot of noise there, especially at the tips. But actually, a lot of noise comes from the tail rotor. And let's just say when you become a student of helicopters and a student of helicopter noises, a lot of noise signature we will detect by the tail rotor and less by the main rotor. So let's just say, for example, certain helicopters have a certain distinctive whistling sound, and that is down to the tail rotor's noise signature as well. It really depends also what the flight profile is of the helicopter. You can get something called blade slap, which is an aerodynamic effect in combination with the flight profile. Let's say if you're descending or if you're turning into wind, and there is a certain relationship between airflow, let's say also turbulence, and position of the blade in its rotation, that creates this kind of break in airflow, this transonic speed break. And what happens is that there's this slap, and it's a noticeable slap, 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 slap. So what the pilot can do is change the flight profile. They can start to descend, trying to increase the speed, decrease the speed, change the angle of bank in some cases, and that will eliminate or try to eliminate this blade slap. So it's an aerodynamic effect that can be very noticeable from the ground. Actually, it can be very noticeable from inside the cockpit as well. So the helicopter makes lots of noises for lots of different reasons. It's the engine noise, the main rotor noise, the tail rotor noise is a big issue. But most of it is what we're seeing is an aerodynamic effect as well. So on top of all the mechanical noises, you've got aerodynamic effects and aerodynamic noises as well. And those can change with the flight profile of the helicopter, but also the amount that you will hear is based on proximity, how close you'll see the helicopter, or how close you'll be to the helicopter when you're hearing this noise as well. So there's lots of issues, but it's part mechanical, part aerodynamic, and that's why you're getting all these extra noises from a helicopter. It's got lots of rotating parts, whereas on a fixed wing, it really depends what type of fixed wing. If you've got a propeller, you'll have slightly similar aerodynamic noises and mechanical noises from a propeller aircraft, but because they're smaller propellers, you'll have a less of a noise signature as well. But it also depends if you've got jet engines on an airliner, for example, then you're going to hear the noise of those jets and less of the aerodynamic airflow, which is going over fixed wings, and so there's less moving parts on there, so therefore it's a less noise signature given a particular size of aircraft. Of course, big airliners, they produce a lot of noise, and a lot more noise, certainly in the takeoff and landing profile, that you would imagine that a small helicopter does. But in terms of size for size, like for like, then you would say that a helicopter would generally produce more noise because it's mechanical, a lot of moving parts, and aerodynamic effect. If you like what I do here, keep on watching, and I'll catch you again. Bye now.